this is Aura from astrologychick.com. Thanks for coming back and joining me. And I'm out here on this beautiful day with the sun out and this beautiful setting so that we can talk about the sun. And as you know, the sun rules the sign of Leo. We're going to actually talk about the solar eclipse today. And the solar eclipse happens twice a year. There's one set every year, and they happen 6 months apart. And the influence of the solar eclipse will last up to 3 months before and 3 months after the eclipse happens. The major impact will be 2 weeks on either side. So the solar eclipse has traditionally been a time when leaders, kings, CEOs sometimes will lose their jobs during the solar eclipse because it traditionally takes something from view, hides something from view, usually a position of leadership or a person in power, because that's what the sun represents. So the way a solar eclipse works is that an eclipse, we have the sun, we have the earth, and in between the moon, which is rotating around the earth, will get right in front of the sun. So the sun is blocked out temporarily from our point of view on earth. Now the sun and the moon will make a shadow on the actual earth itself, and where that shadow happens is where people will experience a total solar eclipse. Depending on where you are on the planet, it will be partial or it's total. So every eclipse is different, and every eclipse will be seen differently by different people at different parts of the globe. The eclipse could happen in the middle of the night for you. It just depends on where you are. And NASA has all that information. We'll tell you about which eclipse is where and when and how exactly it will be seen. So that's the logistics of how the eclipse actually works. But the impact of an eclipse is that it takes something away. Now that can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. It just depends on our point of view. Maybe there's a really cute guy that you want to date, but he has a girlfriend. So, hey, maybe it might make them break up. You never know. And that could be good for you. The thing we want to know when a lunar or a solar eclipse is happening is how it's going to impact us personally. And that's how we know what to be prepared for. Every eclipse has its own personality. The eclipse itself has a personality based on whatever aspects the eclipse is making. So, for example, if the eclipse is tied up with Mercury, then there will be news and information. If the eclipse is tied up with Venus, it will have something to do with money, property, beauty, women. Those things will be impacted by that eclipse. So that's the character of that particular eclipse. And then the eclipse will impact you based on whatever aspects it's making in your chart. So the sign is nowhere near as important as what aspects it's making for you. And that's how you know how to be prepared, is when you know what it's aspecting. Whatever planet it's aspecting will give it different energy or different character. So in order to find that out, you would want to look at a report. I have reports on my site, and that will show you where that is. If you're a more advanced astrologer, you can look at the planets where it's impacting you, and that will give you an idea of the kinds of events. The events will be related to the planetary energy that's being impacted. So I'm going to thank you for joining me. That's how an eclipse works, a solar eclipse. You can see the other video on the lunar eclipse, which is also in this series. But thank you for joining me, and don't forget to go to astrologychick.com and sign up for my horoscope. I write a horoscope that looks at 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional astrology. I don't just look at flat astrology the way that most horoscopes are written, because I believe that gives you a more complete picture of what's going on in the stars. So I hope you join me on my list, and I'll be seeing you around. Thanks for joining me. Bye.